Good afternoon, good morning, Mr. Jackson Armstrong Jr. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. First, before we get started, can you please tell us where you're from and what got you interested into passive income and cryptocurrency?
Yeah, I'm from Florida, kind of Florida, Alabama area. Grew up mostly in Florida though. I was in the military for 8 or 9 years, and I was planning on doing, the whole thing, 20 years, 25 years, however long they would let me stay. But I got diagnosed with a condition that made me undeployable, so they had to separate me from the military. And so when I found out that I had this condition, I um, had only known the military really. Like I had 2 other jobs before the military, but it's been 9 years. So I didn't know anything else. And so I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do now? I don't know anything else. And it was a feeling that I didn't like. So after that, I went on the search, of course, for another job, right? But I ran into a company that really changed my whole mindset, changed my whole view on life. And they were talking about passive income, which was streams of income. So it kind of was ingrained in me for about, I think I've been in that company for over 4 years now. So I'm still in that company, and it just changed my life.
So you're speaking about COTPS, correct?
I'm actually speaking about Primerica.
Okay, so I do know about Primerica. So that was your first journey into passive income, should I say, right? Okay, all right. And the next one, when it comes to COTPS, you literally have changed the game when it comes to passive income. You know, even though you were with another company, you have hit over $100,000 in this particular COTPS, right? When it comes to COTPS, what was your initial investment?
So the first amount of money I put in was actually only $5,000. My upline sponsor, he was doing a special, hey, if you join my team, I'll give you 500. I'll match 500 or whatever you put in. So I put in 5,000, he put in 500, so I was at 5,500. A day later, I saw it was performing the way they said it should. I mean, the day is a long time, but for me, it's all about, I guess, timing. And when I usually do something, I actually do it. So I put another 15,000 in, and so I would say my initial was 20,000.
Okay, great. And I'm just asking you that because we have some people in my audience, you know, some people have more than others. They are trying to be able to move their money from an IRA into something safe that they don't have to worry about, you know, losing their initial investment. We all are investors, so we know how that goes in this aspect, right? And for individuals only seeking passive income without referring, what advice can you give them?
Only passive income. Well, with this company, I mean, this is probably one of the best ones to actually get into if you're just seeking passive income. Once you set up the script, have it running for you to where you don't have to worry about clicking the competition every 2 hours, then definitely a game changer when it comes to passive income. There's not too many things out there, things out there that are paying you over 3% a day.
Correct. All right. What do you look for when you put your hard-earned money into any company to literally work for you?
Yep. So I would say I look for usually, I guess time isn't the biggest thing because I'm the stuff that just started 2 months ago. So it helps though. I mean, if you know a company's been around for a while and it shows longevity, of course, something that's legitimate and that's gonna also be here for a while. I know crypto arbitrage has been around for a long time. So I'm gonna say a long time, but it's been around long enough to me to where I know that it's something that's real. And of course, we want to trace. Yes, we want to trace to make sure they're actually doing trades in this case. So I've had people in some of my Telegram groups actually show me pictures and documentation that shows the tracing of the trades with which exchanges the trades have been on and the exact trade and the exchange. So in this instance, those are some of the things that I look. I used to look for the CEO and look for all that stuff, but then dealing with certain platforms, that stuff doesn't mean it doesn't really solidify the company. Companies fail all the time. So just because I know who the CEO is, I don't think it's going to change too much.
Correct, correct. I think we're on the same level when it comes to looking for certain criteria in companies. With me, I not just knowing the CEO, I need to know what the net market cap of the owner is. I personally don't care where you are and where you come from. I need to know that your network is worth being able to pay millions of people. Where does your wealth come from? They have fake papers running around these days. So basically, I don't even go off that. I can literally take the company's name and look up the information for myself on a Better Business Bureau and different things like that. The fintech, that is very protective when it comes to initial investors. A lot of people don't know about that. If any company is registered with fintech, if they happen to not pay out, fintech is literally going after that company for your money. And they're not just going to get back your initial investment. They're going to get what it's worth for whatever investment you did for the 2 times or 3 times or 4 times. So thank you for speaking on that part right there. How fast did you get your initial investment back after you put in that money?
Are you referring to referrals or just from the
Period. We're talking about period because the passive we already know. With COTPS, you will be getting 3.6% a day. If you're not automated, it's 2 hours and 13 minutes, but anybody coming on our team will get access to being connected to the automated system. So you have that to worry about. That's 3.6% a day, right? Regardless of if it's passive or truly just you helping other people to come in.
Okay, yeah. It took me, let me check, because it was actually pretty quick to my surprise. The way I did it was, of course, our goal is to get our initial back and then play with house money. So,
So say that again for the audience. You said, no matter what you come in with, right? The goal is to make sure that you get the house money back, your initial investment, and then you go off of house money. That is something that we do as experienced investors.
Yeah, it took me 5 days.
Okay, that's amazing. That's really, really amazing. All right. What is your perspective when it comes to the longevity in joining COTPS? Once again, we also know that every company, anything that you do in life, even walking out the door to get ready to go to work, you can get hit by a car and not make it home, right? So everything we do is a risk. But your personal opinion, I know mine, and I'm interviewing you. So I want to know, what is your perspective when it comes to the longevity with this company?
I see it. Honestly, it's hard to say, but I definitely see it lasting more than a year, just with what they're doing. And you can look up crypto arbitrage and see like many people that have been in this space and are now like they're billionaires. Like what's his name? Friedman? No, I forget his name. But 2017, a guy he started doing crypto arbitrage, and now he's worth $24 billion. And he did it the hard way. Like he was in it, finding the exchanges and okay, I can go over here. But the way he did it, I think he leveraged a loan or whatever he did, and he was doing like $10 million trades, making $1 million a day. And he did that for like 2 years, and now he's the owner of FTX. And
The
like
owner of FTX, I just started using FTX. I have a lot of different Yeah, but I just started using FTX. They pretty nice.
Yeah, he's the owner of FTX, and his goal is to give away like $10 billion, like over a certain period of time. So
I like about FTX where basically whatever crypto you have in there, you can be able to stake 8%. I love that.
yeah,
Yes, I do. I do. I love that.
it's
Like
something free or something like that.
it's okay. We can Google him. Everybody, if you're interested in FTX, go and Google who is the owner of FTX. Okay, this is a personal interview for COTPS. I'm so grateful to have Mr. Jackson on today. Just utilizing some of his brain power and what he has done in the markets, just dealing with our average people, trying to connect with each and everybody, just to understand what's going on in this crypto world. Okay, what is your advice for novice beginner investors?
So something that I guess I didn't really have. Kind of could have asked the question, but I didn't because I like doing stuff myself, figuring it out. Um, don't invest more than you're willing to lose. I guess I didn't do that when I first started, but
I didn't either. Don't feel bad.
yeah, I was like, man, I gotta get this money. So I kind of threw stuff at it, and I realized, oh man, I probably should have did a little bit more research because at the beginning it was like, oh, just make what? I'm gonna put some money in it. It wasn't. let me see. Let me see how long it comes been around. Let me see if somebody's pulled money out already, did they withdraw? I wasn't asking those questions. It was like somebody got me an opportunity. And I was like, okay, I can make more money. I ain't gotta worry about that. So I just put money into stuff. I'm a little bit more selective now on where I put my money in, but definitely ask questions because it's people out here that just, I mean, I didn't realize there was so many grimy people.
Savages.
Yeah, it's like your money.
They'll say your dream like Martin Luther King, baby. They leave you hanging.
block you like they ain't never seen you before. I'm like, man, come on.
And you lost in the sauce, don't know what to do.
I had somebody ask me for $7 and they blocked me after. I'm like, really? Y'all did all that for $7? Like you could have just
really hurt.
I would have gave you $7 if that's what you needed. It's crazy.
Yes, it is. That is one of the reasons why I want to connect with like-minded people. To see us, this melanin, they have allowed us to come into this field. Yeah. And there's so many lives that we can change, but it's so much bull crap and scammers. It makes it hard for the average person to be able to believe in this. You know what I mean? So once again, I can't say enough thank you. When it comes to investing into crypto, what is your advice? It's general. Like, I know I have my critique on what I'm looking for. I want your perspective.
Yeah, I actually don't invest in too many different cryptos. I used to go after the meme coins and like, oh, it's gonna go up and it's gonna do this, but it ended up losing so many times. Like, is it really worth the wait? Like people tell you, oh yeah, I got this new one, and it's gonna pump here, it's gonna pump there, but by the time you get access to it, it's gone. It's just like jumped off a cliff. So I don't do too many crypto. I got Bitcoin, I got XRP, Ethereum. I still have some Shiba Inu just because I got it really, really low. But I'm not really looking for a lot of other crypto, just because it's so volatile. Like other than
Correct.
The other ones, it's too much for the average person. I believe, unless you.
Right. We are aggressive investors and traders in a crypto. The average person, they're not going to take a risk on investing $10,000, $20,000 into anything because it's unknown to them. It's unfamiliar. And the only thing that they know is working a 9 to 5. Nothing's wrong with that because they have created a mindset where you need to go to college to create generational wealth. Where I have been to college, I have 5 degrees, and the only thing that it taught me is that they're going to teach you what they want you to know in college, and they're going to hide the truth. Okay. It is an expensive scam, and I don't knock people that want to go to college, darling. If you want to be all you can be in the army, do what you do. Okay. But from my personal experience, college is one of the biggest ripoffs. Okay. that there is. A higher education does not equivalent to you having a higher income. I've been there, I've done that, right? But me going to school for business, it allowed me to learn more. If I didn't hear the African and the Chinese guy in the back of the classroom talking about the Forex market, I wouldn't be making 4 figures a week in the market, right? So I was able to take something away from that to be able to help me to build. But for the average person, a college education is not a guarantee for you to be able to live the American dream, correct?
Right.
And once again, we said this earlier, but this is the direct question. There's a risk in anything we do in life. In your eyes, what is the risk ratio to COTPS and why you have joined?
I would say the risk ratio, that was a kind of hard one too, because
that's why I asked you this question. I want to hear your perspective.
Yeah, anything that you send your money to is because the dude, the guy, whoever is doing COTP, they could be like, man, I made my money, I'm done. And they could just shut it down. Like that's the risk. That's the biggest risk we take. I would say they're making so much money with fees and they're making micro transactions that
by the thousands.
Yeah. So they're making money. So I don't really see them shutting it down long as we don't. A lot of people don't take advantage of the system or try to circumvent what they're doing because they could feel like they could get, I guess, what's the word? They could get.
If they do multiple accounts like Hyperverse,
yeah,
that is one of my, I'm diversified in 7 companies.
Okay.
I'll be 40 June 2nd. I'll be 39 June 2nd this year. My goal is to be a millionaire by the time I'm 40. It's been a long-term goal for me. And I'm grateful that this year will be my 6-figure year. Okay. So in the midst of that, like Hyperverse, they had people in Italy, the mob, those type of establishments. They were teaching their people to come in and create 100 accounts, 300 accounts, 1,000 accounts, right? And you're literally placing your accounts under each other, right? So literally on top of them paying you personally, they're paying all those other accounts, right? That hurts the system. Yep. And a lot of people that are trying to get into crypto, they wonder why things change and they evolve for the longevity of the company, but they don't know the ins and outs of what's going on in the company. You know what I mean? So yes, there is a risk, but me personally, you let me know how you feel. Mm-hmm. The longer the standing of the company, the stronger. Like Palm Alliance, we'll talk after this interview that I'm doing with you, right? But with my portfolio, between the 7 companies that I have over 50 years of experience in those companies, right? I only look for companies that are long-standing over 2.5 years, not 2 years, right? The longer, the stronger. Palm Alliance is simply an alternative asset wealth company, and it's dealing with the stocks, the middle, the major, those investment companies. It has nothing to do with crypto. It's dealing with street. And they've been around for 12 years. I got connected with that through a millionaire, somebody that is a business partner of mine, right? So when you run into opportunities like that, that's 1 in a billion. Because I'm pretty sure I started in 2017. When did you start on your journey?
So I started in 17, but my mind wasn't in the right spot. So I was scared to lose $500 in it. Because I didn't have enough. I was scared to press the button to send money over the blockchain. And so I did it for a couple months and then I was like, oh, this ain't for me, man. I'm gonna lose all my money in this thing. So I stopped, and then somebody reached out to me in December of 2020. And so I've been going since then. So a little over a year and what? 5
No, it's 2022. So that's been about 2 years for you where you've actually grasped the concept.
Almost 2 years.
Okay. Well, with me, it's a little bit different. I was coming from acting and movies and modeling. I got pregnant with my son, and my son's father was literally how he took care of everything, right? And he didn't understand how extravagant my lifestyle is, just my regular lifestyle, not trying to go to Saks and do all this extra stuff, just my eating habits by me having a health condition, and just dealing with life is expensive, right? So I was trying to figure out a way to be able to help him and help myself at the same time, right? And when I started out, like you said before, there's so many people that's going to give you so much and it seems so enticing, right? And you come up with this money and you put the money in it, and they block your ass and you can't even get through. You're trying to figure out where your money at. We've been through that, right? And literally, I lost about 5 figures along my journey. But along the journey, I wind up connecting with people that really had a heart like I do, right? And instead of them taking from me, they poured into me, right? And in the midst of that, I mean, the last 3 years have been the best years for me. I am a full-time Forex trader. I diversify my earnings into cryptocurrency, right? And I'm very, very leery now of putting my money into any company. I don't care if my business partners, everybody done dump money. I could care less. It's certain things that I look for, because at the end of the day, I have lost a following because we had a company running for 8 months. I mean, paying out like yeah, right? And then all of a sudden it stopped. I put in over 2,000 people, right? So the average person that doesn't have the tenacity to understand that everything you do is a risk, and they risk it all instead of investing what they can afford and then pull out and deal with house money like we do. It was a shit fest, you feel me? But that didn't stop me from doing what I needed to do to be able to get the keys to the city, to literally be able to free them, you know? And it's an amazing experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world, right? I met you through the group 24/7 chat where Becky added me, right? It's amazing for me to be able to meet a fellow melanin brother or sister that has hit it in the markets. They did not want melanin getting access to wealth. And no matter what I tell people, yeah, you started with 20,000. Literally, I started with $41 and I double back with $81. And in 10 days, literally that 126 has grown to 150 in 10 days. The banks are not doing that for us. You know, a lot of our people feel like you want to go get an IRA, you want to get a CD, you want to do this and that. But me and you both know, by us being in the crypto world and just in the investment world, that the dollar is not strong. It's very weak. And soon we're going to have another crash, and it's going to be worse than the others. Our people need to be able to diversify themselves and be able to move before the compliance comes. Because either you're going to adapt or you're going to comply. And when the compliance comes, you're not going to like the terms of it, right? You want to be able to be free and be able to have your options in the things that you want to do. So anything you wish to add before we conclude this interview, my darling?
Oh yeah, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but it's usually like 3 things that I really look to follow. My mentor calls it the 1/3 rule. And so the first one is don't invest in anything you can't afford to lose. The second one is get on house money. The other one is reinvest and take profit, right? And so in that reinvest, take profit, when you're taking profit, you take profit for essentially 3 things. Well, yeah, you want to reinvest, you want to put a sum aside for taxes, because I'm not trying to go to jail. So
I ain't trying to go to jail either. I'm paying all my taxes. I'm doing it quarterly because they coming for us.
they coming, yeah.
They coming.
And then have fun. Because if all you do is make money, then I mean, it's gonna feel like a job eventually. And it's gonna get to the point where you're gonna not like it. So you gotta use some of the funds to enjoy your life, because we don't know, right? Like it could hit the fan tomorrow. You don't know. So I'll say definitely have fun with what we're doing. So
And enjoy yourself. You know, literally the last 9 months, I've literally been able to do things for myself without feeling guilty. You know, I've gotten myself off of Section 8, things of that nature, right? So crypto is literally my bread and butter.
Okay.
No matter if it's passive or me totally trading. And I have gotten myself to the point to where I'm 10% away from being totally passive, whether I trade or not.
Okay.
You know, I haven't been able to do what you do, dropping 20 G's in the program, right? But I start off small. and I
Right.
grow from there. You know, I want to make sure that I am not putting myself or the people that follow me into a situation where they're looking for a recovery, you know. And it's a lot of those fake companies. Anything that's starting new, I don't want no part of it. I tell people simply, if you have lasted over 2.5 years and you can show me X, Y, and Z, I'll take a look. But time is the most important, valuable possession that we have.
Mhm.
It's not money, it's time. And the wealthy move and they create their wealth off of credit, not the dollar.
Mhm.
Right? So with that being said, I mean, I think we've said it all. Is there anything you want to add before we conclude the interview?
I appreciate you having me on. Definitely have people look at my YouTube and my Facebook and whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut off this recording. And once the recording is done, we about to connect personally because I told you what we about to do.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
totally appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me stop the recording.